Hello, this is Lucas Westcombe, and my partner was Brittany McQuaid, and we were doing an experiment on the effects of lacquer thinner on germination of seeds. So we chose lacquer thinner because it is a sort of technical automotive field substance. Lacquer thinner is a commonly used chemical in body shops, paint shops, a lot of different trades. It's a mixture of acetone, isopropyl alcohol, and there's usually a couple other solvents in there that are mixed together to break down the plastics and resins that are used in modern lacquer. Lacquer thinner is a fairly common household item. It's used in a lot of arts and crafts, and its main use is to strip the modern lacquers off of wood or metal. It is a pretty volatile product. So it's obviously not good for the environment. Compared to paint thinner is actually less volatile because lacquer thinner is a lot more deep penetrating. So obviously lacquer thinner is not going to be very good for the environment or for humans if it is ingested in any way. Our prediction for this experiment was that the concentrations of lacquer thinner were going to slow down or completely stop the germination of our radish seeds. So the way that we set up this experiment, very similar to our first seed germination experiment, we had six different baggies. Five of them were different concentrations of lacquer thinner to water, and one of them was our control group that was just distilled water. The lowest concentration was 10 to 90 as a ratio of lacquer thinner to water, so it started off as a very small amount of lacquer thinner and went up to a 50-50 mixture. So basically that just kept going up 20 to 80, 30 to 70, 40 to 60 until it was at a 50-50 mixture. We recorded how many seeds would be germinated over a 5-day period and took some pictures of stuff as well. So our data by the end of the experiment um, very well supported our prediction. As you can see, the control group had 100% germination. It actually had better germination in my experience from the last seed germination experiment that we did. And every single concentration of lacquer thinner stopped the seeds from germinating pretty much at all. This is what the control group was looking like. Everything pretty much fully germinated. Looks like one of my roots broke in there, but everything had fully germinated for us. And they had their leaves and roots fully grown out. This right here is a picture of the 10 to 90 solution. As you can see, one of the seeds actually started to kind of sprout, but it pretty much just stayed there for me. The thinner seems to also sort of made the a lot of the seeds swell up or made the skin come off of them that was surrounding the seeds. Here is a graph just showing how we had 100% germination and it just completely dropped down into a 0% germination for every concentration of lacquer thinner. So just as some final thoughts, this experiment proved our predictions pretty well. It's very important if you're using lacquer thinner that you're using it in a well ventilated area as to not cause harm to yourself. It's pretty strong stuff. You have to make sure it's cleaned up properly so that you're not leaving puddles of it on the floor that would take longer for it to evaporate. And you also want to make sure that you're disposing of the used lacquer thinner properly and making sure that you are not putting out thinner into the environment so that it can be soaked up by the soil and kill plants or harm animals or yourself. For alternatives, there's really not many good alternatives. A lot of people like to mention mineral spirits and stuff, but all of these are used for different things. Lacquer thinner is the best for its use. It's very deep penetrating thinner. So really the only way to make sure that you're not harming the environment or yourself is to make sure that you're making the proper ratio mixtures and you're not applying more than is needed and following all your directions very closely. That was all for our experiment.